I think our friend had someone get married. Hey, you want to review this?
No, not yet. We're just kidding.
Yeah, we have but scratched the surface.
We just got to the people getting buried alive. That is a huge component of the review I'm going to give, even though it's pretty clear I'm going to come in very low on the scale.
I can't.
Review it all.
Review it all. Review it all.
So these are some pretty soft-hitting topics.
We don't need to get directly into it, but yeah.
I just wanted, are we in agreement this is a comedy podcast? Or are we trying to literally review things?
So much like all good comedies, we should say at the front that this is a comedy podcast. We're going to have topics sometimes because we do have a giant list of infinite things, like today, where we're going to be talking about some pretty heavy stuff. And you know what? I think it's going to be fine. I've got some humorous things to talk about when it comes to the big S.
I just want to clarify with you guys before we jump in.
Hey, guys.
We're funny, right? We're funny.
What are
right?
we?
Is
that the podcast equivalent of Where Did I Come From?
No,
Where did
it's
babies
the comedy,
come from?
It's the comedy podcast of like, what are we doing?
No,
What is this?
Yeah,
What are we?
This?
What are we?
We are definitely that. But hey, if you want to get a little bit deeper on it, there's room. There's room in this podcast for both the chuckles and the cries.
I mean, look, you have to let it. You have to let parts be real to talk, right? I mean, all comedy is based in real stuff and reality, and certainly some sort of tragedy. I mean, that one particular topic, which also beautifully happens to be the third and final one.
Yeah, the closer.
So what a crescendo!
Yeah.
What a crescendo! The closer, which very appropriate given the topic itself.
Yes,
because there is no act after that. But
no, some would say it might be the final countdown.
No encore. No, there's no encore.
If this is the first time you are listening to our podcast, hello and welcome to Review It All, a podcast about three men who know nothing, literally reviewing everything.
You probably got a taste of that from our earlier cold open discussion.
Yeah. So if you've never listened to our podcast, welcome. Hello. We like to talk about everything. And that's what this podcast is about. So I'm Dillon. I'm one of the hosts here. And today we've got some interesting topics. So much so that we had to preface it at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Should we list them all off top?
Oh, yeah. Well, I like beginning with
the
recap of last episode to a degree where it's like, here's what we'll be talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
I always like, well, I'm also hi. I'm Matthew McLachlan. I'm also a host. Hi. Yes. Let me in, bitch. Mike, go ahead. You're also involved.
As Matt's permission, yes. I'm Michael Bernardi, and I'm also involved.
Nope, that's enough. And we
cut on two. Thank you.
Cut on two. Yeah. we can cut Mike. Yeah, that's good. Keep him off.
Last week's episode, we had 3 topics picked, and could you remind me what those 3 topics were? I already know what the third one is, but let's remind the viewers what we're going to be talking about in today's episode.
All right. Today we're going to be talking about people who ride cargo trains around the country. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about jealousy.
I'm excited for this one.
And we're going to be wrapping it up by talking about suicide.
On a very special episode.
On a very special episode of Review It All.
We talk about the heavy subject of traveling around on cars.
On trains, yeah. Do you know somebody who's traveled around on a train? Here's the
Call
number.
This hotline.
871.
Call this number.
All right.
Also suicide, I think. Like,
Yeah.
whoa. Oh, okay.
But before we get into those topics, anything new happening with you guys? Anything fun happened with you over the week or so since we last recorded?
My nephew turned 1.
Hey!
Jackson, so we went and had a little party for him, and he's a big, silly guy, and we love him.
Is that the guy who just threw up on everyone every time I walked over to him? He was just throwing up on everyone?
He wasn't was he a throw-upper?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like that. He was that silent throw-upper, too, where it just sort of, it was like,
You're
yeah,
like,
it just
"Oh,
sort of
God!"
fell out of his mouth. Yeah. It's like a Pez
Like every
dispenser.
time it came over, someone was changing a shirt because it was just.
He's also super drooly too, but yeah, he's a big boy, and
It's
he's
like a
ready
fucking
walking around.
Saint
And
Bernard. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
he's no baby. That's a space station.
I'm a writer, and I had lunch with one of my managers who is the way I describe him is I've never seen someone talk so much and somehow eat faster than me at the same time. So I'm like, somehow the man didn't let me get a word in edgewise.
That's
but
a
also
professional skill.
And I'm like, oh, this, you know what my thought was too? I was like, oh, this man is from LA.
He's got deals to close.
And I'm like, he's talking like half out of his mouth, half chewing on one side. I was like,
was he like Dennis Quaid in The Substance?
Yeah,
Just just eating shellfish right in your face.
You are not the first person to bring that up when I've mentioned this
Really?
meeting. Yeah, multiple people have said that. They're like, was it like Dennis Quaid? I'm like, I haven't even seen that, but I've seen the clip, and yes is the answer.
Okay.
But he's on my team, so that was great.
That's right.
He's
as long
on
as
my
it's on your
side.
team.
Yeah, we're doing great. But also, the whole meeting, I was like really excited about the things that are happening. And he's like, yeah, nah. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, so kind of was I to call my other manager today and be like, yeah, I kind of took the wind out of myself. She's like, I got to talk to this motherfucker. So
We don't tell it to the client directly.
I was trying to be busy the last couple of days, but then I just ended up walking around my neighborhood in my own little like sad montage in every movie. Like, why do birds?
Oh, I was gonna go with the
It's so
sad Hulk
fucking-
music.
Yeah,
I was going to go with "Hello, Darkness, my old friend." I like that all of us have different theme
Everybody had a
songs.
different one, but I've got the classic joke trope of the old Hulk,
Yeah,
sad
the
Hulk on the
walk
side of the
away
road
music.
music.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's just me, and I've made this joke already before, but I feel like every time there's like a montage or something, one of the first songs that come to my head is like, "Ooh, that red, white, and blue." Like it's just like me sad, just like
The reason that pops in your head is because every Vietnam montage
Yes.
has that.
Correct.
And it has Fortunate Son in it, and you
Yeah.
know it's someone is coming out with not all of their limbs or
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Like,
And so maybe
you're
that's
gonna
me.
end up hearing about how Forrest, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, it's never gonna be like, all right, wasn't that a lot of fun?
So what we're saying is every montage in my head is just someone getting their limbs gonna.
Yeah.
Well, apparently
For
every
some
montage
reason-
in your brain is a 1970s
I was
Vietnam
gonna say,
flashback.
why is every montage in your brain napalm based?
And I'm
Yeah.
just like hands in my pockets, like kicking rocks like down the street.
Did you have a lot of
garbage.
experience with jungle warfare?
and
I'm
it-
not
and it's
sure.
just like
Matt always says he loves the smell of napalm, in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm just like rat going by and overhead. It's like whoop, 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 whoop. I'm just like, it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no.
We got
shit.
Charlie all around us. We need an extraction now.
Just explosions, and I'm
Sir,
just like,
this is the Lower
dang
East
it.
Side, and it's 2025. What's the matter with you?
so we got the first topic for us to
Wait.
review.
Before we do, we've had 2 reviews now, or 2 episodes where we've done letters. And letters are cool, but I'm getting tired of them. I want a different rating system this episode.
I think we got to let's give it a 1 through 10 because I
Yes.
think there's going to be some very required nuance today.
Yeah, let's do 1 through 10. I'm cool with 1 through 10 this episode. Letters have had their time. It is time for numbers now.
It feels wrong to grade suicide.
Not to me.
We're not grading. We're reviewing it.
Yeah.
We're gonna review
Yeah,
it
but
1
I'm
through
saying,
10.
but to give it like a letter
Oh,
grade.
to give it a letter
You know
grade?
what?
Yes.
A C.
That being said, 1 through 10 is also reminiscent of like a diving score. So I am also a little bit concerned about how that might land.
Well, I wish we had some stuff to hold up for the judges.
That's
it's really
true.
going to be it's going to be the East German judge that's the hardest to please, though.
Always. So let's jump in here. We got our first topic is people who ride on cargo trains around the country.
Now, viewers, you might be thinking, why is this on the list? There's no possible way that this is relevant enough to be on a show for
You might
anyone.
be the third co-host and wondering that.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because me and Matt both have known multiple people who have done this.
Yeah.
So
One is too
much
many.
so.
One is too many.
Yeah, one you would think. You would think.
We had a close friend who shall remain nameless, and she in college had done this for several years, and she had talked multiple times about her boyfriend. I don't even remember this person's name, but she had every photo was what you would think someone who travels around on cargo trains would have of like a lover, like a ripped up, torn, like this is him right here. And we're like, and I'm like,
how did you get this rapidograph from
Yeah.
the
Like it had-
1800s?
Like it had for
Yeah.
certain been wrestled from someone else's hands.
grasp, yeah, dead,
Yeah.
dead cold hands. And she kept talking about him, and I assumed he was like lived in town or where we were from, and she kept talking about something about like wherever he is. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I don't know where he is. I was like, again, what do you mean? And she's like, well, he's on a train right now. And I'm like, is he a conductor? What does he do? I was like, is this legal? She's like, oh no. Oh no. He hops in. I was like, how does he always got a little sack and his little bag? And
What is
I
he
believe they're
hop
called. I believe they're
into?
called bindles.
Bindle. Sure. Sure. What does he hop into? I've seen cargo trains now. They don't look like they did back in the day. They're giant trains with these massive train engines that are pulling just like container after container of chemicals that are sealed, containers that are sealed. Like there's not like an old timey box car that you just slide the thing open.
like, come on in, and there's
Yeah.
a
And
band
jump
playing
in, and
stuff with a
inexplicably it's
banjo.
empty.
There's a lot of
Yeah, and
hay.
there's a pile of hay randomly in the corner. There's like 4 wooden sort of egg type crates, and then there's one other surly traveler who you're not sure if you can trust him. Like what?
But they are all a band, and they're like on the boxes, like
Yeah.
doing this shit. And they're
Yeah,
like,
but
well,
there's
come
a
on
few that
in.
is like,
They've
oh,
got-
it's a lifestyle.
They've got the washboard and the fucking empty glass bottles to blow into. Yeah,
Right, it's illegal, but no one's thought to check this car. When this car's a rockin', you don't come a knockin'.
So the crazy thing is, obviously, this is a thing from a bygone era. I don't know how many people are currently doing this because Mike is right. Like most train stuff nowadays is either Amtrak, which is the quite worst, horrible way to travel.
Oh my God.
Cannot wait to review Amtrak on this fucking show.
Yeah, I said I don't even want to do Amtrak, let alone ride on a bed of freshly mined coal. Like it feels like the same.
On the face of it, you're like, oh, there's this kind of romantic notion of seeing the country by rail and not living by society's rules of travel and sticking it to the man and just seeing this beautiful country from the back of a train car.
Along the rails that were laid by the capitalists who were going in a particular direction for specific reasons that you are tethered to because you're in the train.
It's probably fun for like an hour or like an afternoon. And then you're like, get me the fuck off. I got to get back over there.
It's
like this
fun until you need to do anything other than go.
Yeah.
Yep.
As soon as that's done, you're like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
I need to go.
Well, on top of that, it's like, where is this going? Oh, great. I'm going to be in North Dakota. Great. Can't wait to figure out how I get out of North Dakota.
Well, obviously by train, but I'm trying to just understand the logistics of like, how do you have what you need with you enough to make it for the ride? How do you have you're not working, right? So that's clearly part of the charm. Oh, you're jumping in the train, you're going the next thing. But if I'm not mistaken, the point of trying to do that back in the day, 19th century, early 20th century, was to get places that you needed to go. It was far less whimsical, which is, something that I think is missed on a lot of people. Like, oh man, we're going to do this. Yes, people needed to live back. They were doing it because they couldn't afford travel and they were desperate to find work. So they were jumping in the cargo trains and going around. They weren't like picking petals out of a flower and being like, I wonder where this one will go.
I think a lot of this energy actually got put into van life. I think all the people who were like wanting this type of experience now, because also these people, I wouldn't say that they were rich, but they weren't like super poor either. You know what I mean?
You mean the people you knew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like this guy could just like walk in dusty to his like big house, and they're like, "Well, rain is back, and he needs to take a shot. You know, go to your part of the house."
Yeah, it's my dad might be a fucking CEO at Viacom, but I still have needs.
Yeah,
but I have needs, and the needs is the
whimsy of privilege. It's the whimsy of privilege. It's, oh, what do you like to do, man? I just like to ride on the rails or whatever. It's this thing that happens when you have more than what you need.
This is a uniquely white experience as well. It's like, how can I be poor for a little bit? I don't want to be poor all the time.
For fun.
I want to cosplay as poor.
For fun.
I want to cosplay as poor for like maybe a couple of years even, but I know.
I gotta say, some of these people, I mean, whatever you're picturing their fingernails to be, it's worse. and they
Part of the
have
costume,
like
man.
They have like the black dirt under their nose, like they just came up from the mine.
You know, we don't need you to recreate this if that's your goal. We don't need you to cosplay it. Just go to Comic-Con. I'd rather see you be like, oh, I'm going to dress as Pikachu. I don't need you to dress as the people panhandling in the alley. That's not what that's just rude.
Hey, here's a fact for you. 500 people a year die from doing this.
Oh.
I can't believe
so it's doing
there are
numbers.
500 people. You know why? That's because they have nowhere to grab onto. The only reason you're hanging onto a train now is to do a heist. Like, there's no reason you know what I'm saying?
They're stealing. Like, they're stealing.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be heist level. It's just like grain. And
no, the only people, right? It's like you're either doing a Breaking Bad heist on a train or you're fighting on the top of one. There is no other reason for you to be on a train. And I really don't understand how no one has answered my question about where is it that they are in or on or around the train? Like, where are they going into?
Sometimes if they can't get in, they'll stay in between or on top. Or if sometimes there's they usually look for the open bed of stuff and so they'll climb in and stay. But here's the thing.
The container gets put down on top of them.
Yes. Or filled with stuff, with crops or dirt or whatever.
Coal, like they just like.
I think our friend had someone get buried. Hey, you want to review this?
No, not yet. We're just kidding.
Yeah, we have but scratched the surface.
We just got to the people getting buried alive. That is a huge component of the review I'm going to give, even though it's pretty clear I'm going to come in very low on the scale.
I can't believe this is the lightest of the topics we have for today, which is fucking wild.
I'm just trying to I'm picturing somebody like just waking up and be like, oh, and all of a sudden they're buried in corn.
Or they're probably like freezing. They're like, huh? And then it's just nothing after that.
Maybe the corn keeps them warm.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you think right before that too, like they had been like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought for sure that it would be like an old timey.
No, I think it's the opposite. They're convincing themselves in their brain. They're like, this is what I was meant to do. Well, I have to imagine that some of it is real, right? Like there are legitimate people who don't have a vehicle or something, and they are trying to get around the country.
And to those, I hope they're surviving and thriving.
But to like a number of 500, there's got to be some accidental ones in there. Like there has to be.
Like it has to be somebody's semester abroad, right?
Yeah, there has to be just there. And like, I know that this guy that we met and the girl who we knew who did this. Like, I don't know about the girl that we knew. She transitioned out of that, obviously. But I feel like this is like a pivotal moment in that guy's life where this is something he's going to talk about to his, I don't want to say children.
Oh,
but
he's a fucking tech bro now. Like, don't even come at me with that. He's got a sleeveless zip up vest.
Well, no,
like,
what I'm saying is like, yeah, it's like that cheap moment in his life where he got to say, yeah, I was living dangerously. And he gets to pat himself on the back as he goes to his brand new Volvo.
Right. And now as he pursues a lifestyle that draws wealth to the 1%, he can be like, well, maybe if they had ridden around on the rails like I had, they'd understand.
These are
some of the realizations I had out there, right? You know, you're driving around and you realize on these trains, it's like, you know what? Maybe it's not about trickle down. It's about trickle up.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that's like, yeah, you just don't get it. You didn't ride the rails.
Right around the time I saw Bradley fall down in between those two cars, and I heard the sound of him getting run over.
His bones breaking.
And his bones breaking. And I thought, you know what? Crypto is the future.
Yeah. And that is why I'm here today at Meta, because I believe.
Yeah.
That's right.
Guys, I'm introducing Cargo Coin.
Oh, God. It's just a skull with a wheel on top.
Yeah, it's just a wheel just going over
to know, how did this person have a relationship with this woman you knew? Like,
they met in a town. They met in a town. I don't know, one of the depots he stopped in. I don't know.
He was a singer. She is a singer.
He was a singer.
He was a musician.
Yes,
yeah,
he was a musician.
Oh my God. I thought that traveling around on the cargo trains would be so insufferable. And then I thought, oh my God, the guitar. But of course he's a singer too.
He was also
That's why 500 people die on these trains every year. They're not falling. It's not an accident. They're getting pushed. They're falling down because he's strumming and he's going, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And he's getting pushed underneath the train.
Yeah, that's all these musicians. If I recall, beyond the dust and grime, he was like kind of a handsome guy, which was even more annoying. And I'm like,
yeah, he had a Timothy Chalamet quality in my mind.
Yeah, a dusty Chalamet.
Yeah, he had the look of someone who was malnourished, but it worked for him. You know what I mean?
And he was, if I recall, he'd be like, yes, I do remember this person now. Because you'd say, you and I would say something and make each other laugh, but we'd say something and he would just be like, huh, yeah.
Yeah, it makes you think.
Kind of like,
yeah, I guess.
Kind of like, is that the kind of humor you guys have? Like he was that kind of person. You're like, Jesus Christ, man, go jump into some coal. I don't know.
I'm going to give this a 2. It's not a 1 or a 0 because I think that's like the worst of the worst. But I think like there is just enough whimsy to keep it in the 2 range.
I'm trying to do the last minute look around the whole place to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I don't think I did. I think this sucks. I think being on a train, and even though Amtrak sucks, the few times that I've been on train long distance, it's beautiful. I love it. It can suck for sure. You can get the really great ones, but that's like luxury. That is fun. That's good. The train car, the giant open windows, and the diner car. Hell yeah. But even
the complete antithesis to this.
Yeah, and this is just like if I fart wrong or I put my banjo on my knee weird, I'm dead. I'm gonna say a 2. I mean, what's keeping me from making it lower? I don't know. Maybe just the thrill. Maybe the thrill of it. I don't know.
It is a good story. I will say, if once again it's on this podcast because it was so fucking memorable.
Yeah, you're right.
That we had to bring it up.
Is there a part of me that wants to do it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
Here's why I'm going to say, here's why I'm going to say a little bit higher. I'm going to say a little bit higher, not because I think it's the act of doing it, like these people that doing it are like, oh yeah, it's the best. It's my curiosity about it. I want someone to follow these people around or just ride at a moderate speed in a pickup alongside them safely and go, why are you doing this? Like, and have somebody try to answer and then be crushed underneath the wheels of a very pathetically slow moving train that they could have easily just jumped off of and brushed themselves off. But I'm fascinated by this because that it does persist. Not because it doesn't make any sense. It does in our current economic climate, travel being what it is, our culture being in so many ways so bankrupt, our people themselves just maybe needed to move from one place to another. The disenfranchised, the homeless, or unhoused, however you'd like to say it. But so I also have to admit that there's definitely a functionality to this, and that is not their fault that the trains themselves have become less amenable to their riding in them, right?
Sure.
If we're centering it on this guy that you, knew of through this woman that you knew, through his lens, I would say it's a 1, and I hope he was crushed bodily underneath either coal or whatever. I hope a bunch of Beanie Babies came out of a pipe and suffocated him, but because he sounds insufferable. But from the general concept of it, I'm going to say a 4.
Okay.
Because of I think of the curiosity that it piques in me as people that would do this, and the fact that I can't be certain that it's only the privilege of struggle, where like people are like, yeah, I'm gonna just slum it. Like, okay, because you don't actually live in a slum, so you don't need to worry about that.
Realistic version of it. Did you guys ever see Nomadland?
I did not.
All right, so that's a very good
Franny
movie.
McD, though.
Obviously, it's with an actress, but most of the people in that movie are not actors. They are actual, real people who do this on a yearly basis. They essentially travel around the country looking for work. I think that is the closest, and that can be beautiful. That can be human experience personified into object. The version that me and Matt got to see was not that.
No.
It was
the
homeless.
version you got to see was bad art.
Yeah, it was homeless.
Like,
homeless for fun. Homeless
like
for
he
fun.
might as well have just painted or sang. It's like, dude, you couldn't have just gotten like a weekly gig at a bar. Like just do that. I mean, look, again, if he wasn't hurting anyone, fine. But if his presence there was the reason that
hurt.
one person got knocked off onto the train tracks, then it's not worth it.
We're still talking about him. So
yeah, he's still with us. He's
Legend.
still with us.
So you give it
Legend.
you give it a 4?
4.
Wow.
That's high.
That's
Oh, geez. All right.
Okay.
All right. Our next topic is one that I'm interested in because I don't feel this emotion that often. I feel it sometimes, but I haven't ever been in a romantic relationship to a degree where I think that this emotion becomes so prevalent sometimes for some people. So I'm interested to hear about this, especially as you guys, you have Mike has a wife, Matt has been in a lot more relationships than I have been. We're talking about jealousy and being jealous. Now, obviously, jealousy, the green-eyed monster, envy, can take on many different forms and different facets, but honestly, in my mind, jealousy predominantly roots itself in love, or like a bad version of like loving someone, kinda. There are other jealousies that we will talk about, but ultimately, jealousy is one of those weird emotions that, like, I don't know, man, it causes people to do some turned up shit.
Yeah, half the stuff I see people when they get jealous, I'm just like, go journal. Like, go to, what's your problem?
Yeah, go to therapy. Please, for the love of God, go to therapy.
Just do something for you. Like, what are you upset about?
I just want to throw something out there real quick. This is something I just looked up.
Mike's researching.
Yeah.
And I had looked it up prior. I wanted to look it up prior, but it's the jealous versus envious, because I heard Dillon use both interchangeably a second ago. But I remember a long time ago learning that jealousy was being well, let's see. Merriam-Webster says jealous means fearing someone will take what you have. And envious means desiring what someone else has.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Historical usage shows that both mean covetous and are interchangeable when describing someone else's possessions. Like if you're jealous of their, I'm saying this, like if you're jealous of their really nice car, right? But however, when referring to romantic feelings, only jealous can be used to mean possessively suspicious, as in a jealous husband.
Huh. That's actually pretty good information. And that's what you get here.
That's what you get here. It's not all fun. It's not all just laughy ha-has here, you fucking idiots.
And again, that's Merriam-Webster, so
We're
that's like one of the authorities.
Yeah, we got Miriam over here helping us out. And
Miriam.
All right. I will talk a little bit more about jealousy in my context, but please enlighten me more about your jealousy, guys. I want to hear more about it.
The only jealousy I ever find in my life, and this is real, is one that I actually find to be helpful, which is creative jealousy. So it's like a subset, I think, of when I go and see something like a reading of a play, or I watch something one of my friends do, I'm like, God damn it, that was good. And I'll tell them to their face, like, that was so good, I'm mad. I'm like, oh, I wish, like, anytime I see something that I wish I thought of first, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's so good. I wish I could have done that. And it just inspires me instead of like.
See, we're all coming at this from like healthy therapist zones. This is not what this podcast is supposed to be. We're supposed to be inflammatory assholes.
Jealous is, here's the thing. Matt, you're describing inspired. Like, I'm sorry, but that's a healthy, like you're saying like you're having that feeling of jealousy, like I wish I had written that, right? Or perhaps envious. I wish I had what they had, or I'd written what they had. But that feeling, which I think is a normal, healthy feeling, you're immediately turning it into sort of like an inspiration, and you're sharing it with them as a compliment. But I think jealousy in its purest form is not something you share. It's gross.
Yeah.
And it changes your behavior in unspoken ways.
It's so petty.
It's so petty. It's so reflective of your insecurities. And I think the best example, at least for me, and it is definitely very potent in me, like when I was younger, maybe into my 20s. And I think it's very potent for a lot of cis het men, white men in particular, is jealousy over your partner's previous sexual partners.
Oh, God.
Dillon, you're a little different because you exist in a slightly different realm with that. But I think that it's a majority of men, possibly even an overwhelming majority of men, struggle with.
I gotta say, I think I just
because they're afraid of what it means. It doesn't inspire them to be better.
I think I just got inspired. I think I heard that and I was like, you know what? Like, I can do that.
Honey, do you that guy you were with, the one right before me? He was
the one on the train tracks. The one on the train car.
He was like 6'5". He was like 6'5". He used to be he was a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And, no, I know he didn't make the NFL. That was so sad. But he was a Division I, and he hurt his knee. They used to call him the Hammer, right? Wasn't that his nickname?
Yeah. I believe his name was Jonathan Sins, if I remember correctly.
He did some brief male modeling. He wasn't gay, but he had such a huge dick that he posed for a lot of the gay magazines and stuff like that. And they said he was a sweetheart, huge ally of the community, never had a misstep with any of them as an ally, even though he's a white guy. That's just so great.
That's good.
I'm
That's
inspired.
good.
I'm
so inspired. I have no
when
negative.
I look down at my average size penis and the fact that the other day I went to do a push-up and I sharted a little bit. But I want you to know that I'm so glad you picked me.
You chose this.
That you chose me makes me so happy, because having you means that I get to know about the hammer. And I wouldn't know him. We had him over for dinner recently. What a sweet guy.
I can 100% understand where you're coming from. And I think that, yes, like most of the stories that I've heard of jealousy, and obviously I have felt jealousy, I would say that I align a lot with Matt's maybe envy of people when they do something creatively that I feel capable of, but I don't do well. I will say when I was younger, though, I was very jealous of men who were better at getting women than I was. So it's the different kind of thing than that you were with someone who was better than you or you perceived being better than them. It was more a thing of seeing men and knowing that, I just wasn't good enough and I wasn't good looking and then how could I be better and blah, blah, blah. And obviously culture has perpetrated a lot of this with film and television and specifically reality TV, right? Reality TV is like trying so fucking hard to get these couples to be upset with each other. They have to push the buttons of jealousy to like make the content happen. And after being involved in making content and other stuff like that, you just see where all of it is fake and just pointless and you can just kind of let it go. Like you don't need to be upset about it.
Jealousy is solvable if you work on yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because like the hammer can exist for anyone, right? Any man in this particular, in this case, I'll talk about, my identity as the example because
Sure.
I can't speak for every culture, every race. For women, that concept of the previous lover or the amount of lovers, which frankly is still an issue because something colloquial that a lot of younger people talk about is, what's your body count? What's your body count? It's just a different way of saying how many people have you been with, and therefore can I judge you? Can you be a quantifiable slut, man or woman?
I've made 2 documentaries about sexuality. The most recent one being about swingers and people who are involved in polyamorous relationships. And jealousy is obviously a huge part of those communities. Anytime that you are mixing relationships with many people, you're going to run into people who are going to root some form of insecurity in jealousy. And that is exactly what it is. It is something that you have in your head that you need to address.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling this, what's causing that? Because a lot of times, if it's just like, that the hammer is better looking than I am or has a bigger dick than I do, or this guy is funnier than I am or he makes my wife laugh more, you're still with your partner. And she obviously did choose you. So you need to take a step back.
I know, I'm talking about me now, Michael. I know in my bones that I'm not the best sex my wife has ever had. Like there is just no way I'm the best sex my wife has ever had. Why the example I used before was like the hammer shows up to the house and it's that thing of you can't shake that feeling of like, no, she'd rather be with him. Why wouldn't she be with him? I was so jealous of that. It's like,
do you ever think that the hammer broke up with her?
And then doesn't that make it even worse? Doesn't that make the jealousy even worse? Because again, I'm not talking about me now, but this is, I can speculate where you're like, well, he dumped her. Obviously she's waiting. I'm a placeholder. It doesn't matter that we've been married for 12 years and have 2 kids. But I mean, she's playing a long game. She's playing a long ass game, baby.
22-year-old me would be so furious with you right now about everything you're saying. I'd be like,
yeah,
no. He would have a lot to say and be like, I have to be.
Away, though.
I have to be.
You mentioned the age and it's gone away. Like I'm 41 years old now and a lot of that has gone away, but it's gone away.
This dick's going to do what it's going to do and you're going
to. I've been married, right? My dick is in a sad state of affairs. Like I'm not gonna shame an old person in a nursing home, right? So I'm not gonna give it a hard time. Wouldn't yell at a person in a wheelchair. I'm not gonna yell at my dick. The thing is, that's changed. So there's not pressure on me like that anymore, right?
It definitely feels like a younger emotion, right? Not that you can't get jealous at any point in your life. Like that can happen fucking anytime. Sure, you can get jealous anytime. But it definitely feels like when you're younger and everything feels so much more important, right? Like, because you just haven't had the lived experience to be like, oh, this is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You can internalize all of these fucking times where, yeah, you weren't enough for the person to do the thing that you wanted or blah, blah. And then you can become this fucking monster inside of your brain. And jealousy has caused people to do insane things. I would say it's one of those emotions that, like, it's annoying when it happens around you. It's terrifying when you see it take over somebody's life. Like, it's like, oh, God, you're going to fucking destroy your whole life to this thing.
Well, jealousy comes from things like, and I've been victim of this, of like, why are you mad? Well, you just did a thing to me in a dream. And I was like, your own self created a scenario and now you got jealous and mad in the dream. That's got to be pure jealousy, no? Where you're just like upset about a thing that I did. And I'm like,
yeah, there is no more pure form of jealousy than getting cheated on in a dream.
You created that. I didn't. I gave you nothing. Like, in fact, your brain created that for yourself so be mad at you. What did I do?
We also have to give jealousy its props. It's a great narrative device.
It's great.
It has done so many wonderful things for cinema and plays. I mean, it's just a huge part of just like books in general.
And envy in terms of I want what they
have. Yeah, like honestly, like it's so good. I think maybe one of the better representations of it is Jesus Christ, how am I fucking forgetting this? Woody Harrelson, Demi Moore, and Robert Redford. An Indecent Proposal. That is like the perfect version of jealousy for cinema. It's so rooted in everything that Mike was talking about earlier. It's just rich dudes like, I will pay to fuck your wife.
But interestingly enough, I talk about this phase of my life as like a 41-year-old, and I'm not interested in cuckolding. But it is fascinating that is a much more popular thing than people realize. And honestly, now that I'm at this point in my life,
though? Those dudes are like
that's what I'm
aroused
saying.
by it?
What's fascinating to me, it's like, I don't know that I'd be aroused by it.
Here's my wife.
Maybe, but I think I'd be more just like, go get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't have the energy or the bandwidth anymore. I'm like, you're like, if I can go see a movie, you can, that's fine. And I'll be here for it. So this way I know that you don't do something so freaky that I'm a freak. To me, in a strange way, the cuckolding is almost like a way of making sure it doesn't get too good. It's like protecting yourself against jealousy. I'd be more jealous if I came home after it was done and she was all sweaty and flush and was like, and I could tell she was downplaying how good it was. And she'd be like, oh, yeah.
It's fine.
No, it's fine. It was good. Yeah, we had a nice time. But like I can see she was was shaking and crying, like where it was like she just discovered she drank from the correct grail.
Yeah.
Like I'm just saying, like, in a weird way, I could even argue cuckolding is protecting yourself against jealously, because you're like, oh no, I'm going to be here for this shit. I'm going to make sure that she only enjoys it so much. All right.
I had a friend couple that he's like, I got busy, so we outsourced it. And I was like, you're not upset? He's like, nah. Yeah, she's having fun.
Yeah, there is a term inside of the lifestyle, which is the reverse of jealousy. It's called compersion, where it is you are happy that somebody else got pleasure from the thing that they were doing. And I think that if you can try and live your life trying to have more compersion and less jealousy, you'll probably have a much fucking better life. Like just let it fucking
true. I
roll
love
off
my
your
wife
back,
so
man.
much that there is a part of me that's like, no, I could support her feeling good because I love her very much.
100%.
But the problem is the part of me I'm not confident enough in that it wouldn't creep in, right? Because you can't kill it. You can just try to bury it and shrink it down. And I'm afraid that there's a part of me that would go, she liked it better.
Yeah, it's better than
because it would be a reflection on me, because I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to compartmentalize it in a way that her enjoying that was not a reflection of or an indictment on of me.
Hey, you know what's really cute? When your pet gets jealous. You're like, come on, dude, what do you do? What are you upset about? And you see that thing like,
This is Matt's pet segment. We're sorry, viewers, listeners. We meant to tell you that there's a new segment we're gonna do. It's not going to be for all three topics, and we're really glad that he picked jealousy and not suicide. But each one of them, each episode, he's going to pick one, and he's going to have pet corner.
Yeah, it's pet time.
Like how do you review your pets in this? Yeah, we're workshopping.
I had a topic for suicide, but I did not get there.
Pitch it now.
No, Mike's just jealous of my pet corner.
All right, I think I'm ready to rate jealousy.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'm good to go. Mike, why don't you start us off with your rating?
I mean, there is no use for it. It is a shitty version of inspiration. Doesn't get you anywhere. It's toxic. It's deadly. It corrodes and it degrades. So I am gonna say jealousy is a 1. I mean, I put it as 0, but I'm not gonna be like that. Like scale of 1 to 10, she's a 14. We need to put them on the list to review those people. Fuck off. Yeah. So jealousy is a 1 for me.
Dylan,
I'm gonna give it a 3. Its context in narrative literature, movies, stuff like that, it outweighs all of the deaths and stuff to me. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, what would certain movies be without the jealous love? I mean, shit, half of Shakespeare is built on the idea of, like, all of this stuff. Like, you need jealousy because it is a
Isn't that where the green eye of jealousy comes from? That reference?
Probably.
Isn't that an original Shakespeare reference?
Goddamn fucking colloquialisms. A piece of shit. But... yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. Like, yes, it is terrible. I think that if you let it run your life, it's going to ruin your life. But there are good things about jealousy. I agree with Matt's thing to a degree that you can have, like, minor jealousy that you can turn into maybe potentially changing your life.
As long as it's fictional or it's not me. That's a 3, baby.
That's what this scale is. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. I like it narratively, and that's enough to bump it up a couple of stars.
I agree. I'll give it a 3. I've done enough work on myself where I can go, oh, I don't like that. What is that about? And I can actually figure it out and not just like, hey, what are you doing talking to the bartender too long? What are you doing? It's a 3, but damn, I'm just like, when it's coming at me, I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And so I have to check myself. And it's good to know, Vic. Oh, it's a bump in the road. What's underneath that road? Let's figure it out. 3 for me.
All right, great. Now let's turn to the topic of tonight. It's suicide. Yeah, like shooting star graphic. Whee!
I don't think, though dark humor is great, I don't think suicide is a laughing matter, but I do know that most suicidal people in my life are the most funny.
Correct. That's where we're going to start.
And I just want to jump right into that because you two may or may not be on that list.
Overcompensating. Let's start with overcompensating.
Because
self-correcting.
The quiet you two.
Because you two. Yeah. You got thoughts.
Viewers and listeners who obviously don't know us very well. I have had suicidal ideation since the age of 5. So. Fun fact, the first time I tried to kill myself...
He's a prodigy.
Yeah, I'm a prodigy. I'm fucking making numbers. I'm putting up scores. The first time I tried to kill myself was at 5 years old. And I had to go to therapy and all this other stuff. And I have had suicidal ideation for the rest of my life. Yes, I assume that as you are listening to this and you clutch your pearls as tightly as you possibly can, that is terrifying to you. Let me be the first to say that you don't need to. Like, this is something that I've dealt with my entire life. Do I like that this is what my life is? Not necessarily. But Matt's fucking right. It has made me much funnier.
So funny.
Like, I don't know what other way I would have become the person I would have become if it wasn't for the deep, deep lows and the dark, dark times. For the high, high highs, man. Like, that's what you have to have. And funnily enough, the way I view suicide, and I know that many people might not like this and they might take issue with it, but I like that it's in my back pocket, man. I like that I got it there. I got it there like a good fucking handkerchief. And if I ever need to pull the ripcord, I fucking got it, and it's fine. It's fine. On that note, here is the number for the suicide hotline.
Yeah,
we are putting that right here.
I don't suspect that anyone will happen to need it during our episode, but if you've been listening enough and you really can't take us anymore, it's probably still important for us to put that number on there.
Yeah. So
if
I
you
might
can
just
dial
leave
it
that
quicker, then
behind
you can
us.
turn us off.
I might leave that behind us the entire time we're talking. That's probably the better way to do it. But ultimately, there are other things I want to talk about. But Mike, I know that you have dealt with very deep depression as well.
And I think Dillon touches on a really interesting aspect of this, which is the option of suicide as it pertains to the broader concept of free will. And that suicide cannot be inherently bad. And it's certain, or not all bad, and it certainly cannot be fundamentally evil as it pertains to the free will of a human being. Most particularly in my mind, in terms of suicide under extreme circumstances. I am, as I know Dillon is as well, huge proponents of assisted suicide and
Kevorkian and that shit
ethical
away.
euthanasia and sympathetic euthanasia. I can appreciate what Dillon is saying in terms of the idea of like having suicide as like in case of emergency break glass, because that is a very real kind of thing. My history is not as intense as Dillon's. I didn't get diagnosed with depression until college, but it was the kind of thing like where once I was diagnosed with it, it was like, who you been around? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's that, you know, it's the same thing with like ADHD. Like did they just rescue you from an island? Were you talking to a volleyball? Like why did no one pick up on that? Nice thing about depression is it usually keeps me in the low part of the hammock. So I'm very rarely ever jumping up and being manic. Like, you know, I spend a lot of time on the low swing, which
keeps you sedentary.
Stabilizes the bipolar.
It keeps a lot of the action from happening.
That's right. It's one of those dulls the anxiety that I have. It's kind of like a weird. Yeah, it's sort of like
If there's one way to look at depression, it does keep you lethargic. You know,
That's right. Keeps me docile, keeps me manageable. Right? You know, so what? You left my cage door open. Where am I going?
What am I doing?
Where am I going?
Yeah, I'm good right here, actually. I'll just stay right here.
So I've dealt with that.
Can you put 24 back on? Thank you.
Yeah,
I've dealt with suicidal ideation, but never planning, never at that point. I've dealt a lot more with that passive ideation, which is like, I'm not gonna jump off a cliff, but I sure wouldn't complain if my car went careening off of this cliff into the valley below and it exploded, and what a relief that would be. Men oftentimes reveal their depression as anger. So if you're wondering, oh, yeah, they're not sad, they're angry. Well, sad isn't depression. Okay, sad is, you're thinking of Inside Out, where sad is also a charming but necessary character who can be pulled along by joy, and they ultimately learn to coexist.
Yeah, she ultimately learns to stop sadness.
Depression is not sadness. Depression comes out from behind a dark corner and cuts joy and sadness's throat and makes sure that no one goes anywhere.
Yeah.
Depression is not interested in coexisting. Sad is a temporary state. Depression is a state of mind.
And pulls them into the shadows of the suicidal thoughts in the corner of like the control room.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you do not want the Inside Out where depression shows up. And
that's a great analogy. I actually like to think of depression as a really good salesman. He has all the answers that you need at a price.
Yeah. You pay. One time. It's the Toyota thought.
It's a one-time purchase.
One time. Suicide.
Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
The big wacky waving inflatable arm guy outside of the... Like, is that a suicide dealership? Why is it all Cybertrucks?
What are those? So I would say, what are those pods inside next to the Cybertrucks? it's interesting to hear all of that because and this is not a joke, I just think that it's to hear other mindsets is always fascinating to me because I've never had the thought fully. The closest I've been was just like a really low feeling of like, I don't want to do anything. I would never do anything. I just don't want to be here right now. Like, I just want to be here. And
you
it's
want to
not
fade away. You want a Marty McFly in the photograph.
for a moment, I just want the hand to go away and then be like, what is that? And then come back. But it was never, I've always been the like, no, it can get better. It's just always been this like video game, hey, nope, you're going out of bounds, come back to the map. Like, it's always been that for me.
See, that's that sadness and joy learning to coexist.
And
depression comes in and goes,
yeah,
it's never going to get better.
And keep going.
It's your fault for even thinking it will.
Yeah.
Can I interest you in not thinking ever again?
That's right.
That's what depression is. Depression
what if you turned this fucking game off forever?
Yeah. What if this game just stopped existing?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So I get it.
Hurt yourself with food.
Yeah.
Hurt yourself with sex. Hurt yourself with hurting yourself. Hurt yourself. It like you feel low. Go lower. Go lower.
Yeah, I don't.
That's the thing. You think to a logical mind, you think there's a bottom. Right.
But
there's a bottom where it's like, well, I'm already feeling like this, so why would I do this? But the bottom is death.
Well, I want to say, because you all had your time to talk about it, then Mike then took my moment of saying my opposite part of the triangle, which was
I apologize. I apologize.
We apologize. We are talking.
You know what? You should kill yourself.
I might. I really didn't want to be here for a bit. And the number is right here. If you, I'm not the person who says, well, I don't feel it, so it doesn't exist. And where I'm like, Jesus, I don't even couldn't understand what that feels like. The closest I got, like I said, was going, oof, I just don't want to do this right. I just don't want to be here right now, but I don't want to be forever. It could be my crippling fear of death. And I'm like, well, I don't want that option. I don't want to do that because I don't know. You mean I have to just go to a big question mark? Fuck that. Different topic. But I my friends who have felt that and talked about it, I'm like, dude, I couldn't possibly get there. And that's so hard to fathom. But the fact that people can is so scary.
But there is something to be said about finding other people and not just shutting the door on yourself and thinking that you're the only person going through this. There is something deeply beautiful about other people talking about the things that have affected them in this way and seeing that it does get better sometimes.
Well, the emotion thrives on isolation.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct.
For sure.
So there is a very deeply human experience inside of this topic that, unfortunately, because we live in late-stage capitalist hellscapes, is exasperated. But I have found that when I am willing to talk about it to other people and be honest about the experience that I have had, I have found and developed much closer relationships with the people in my life by admitting this instead of hiding it.
Yeah, when I first was diagnosed, I withheld. I didn't like to talk about my mental health issues. And then as I got older, I realized you don't need to enter the party and talk about, but like when it comes up, you should say like, no, yeah, I struggle with stuff. I do this and that, because it can be treated like I have lupus. Like, you know what I mean? Like it should be like I have a condition that should be talked about. There's nothing wrong. I see 800 eczema medication commercials. There's nothing wrong with talking about that. And, it should be the same thing.
Are you guys ready to rate this, or do you think we need to talk more about it?
No, I'm good. I'll jump in because
let's end this.
Let's. I'm gonna.
I think I found a final solution to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh God, Dillon, that wasn't suicide related. We're trying to talk about suicide, Dillon. Don't make this dark.
Sorry.
He killed his reputation on here. Suicide. I am gonna say. Man, I don't know how to fucking rate this thing. I would say, because I don't have any ability to, it's not an option for me. It just never would be. And I understand that it is for people.
We get it.
I know. I know.
This
I
fucking guy.
know.
I want to
Jesus.
live. All right,
Yeah.
great. Your
There's
will to live is
probably-
10 inches and girthy.
Yeah,
good for you.
Lord, I get it. You want to live.
I'm
Fuck
Hammer.
me.
I'm Hammer.
Yeah, fucking Hammer over here, causing jealousy and living all over the place.
God,
Everywhere
I
he goes.
get it. Life is nothing but a fucking box of chocolates. Get on with it.
You really
Seriously.
don't know. And that's pretty cool. And but I don't ever, I understand it being an option in your back pocket and that being a solution to a thing. And it doesn't enter my brain. So I would say just all that to say that suicide to me is just things that would happen around me that people would do. And it would be terrible. And I understand. And it's also terrible that people feel that so low that they do to want to do that. So I would say 1, honestly.
So you're saying I couldn't count on you to kill me?
Oh, you didn't say
And
anything
then
about
kill
killing
yourself.
you. I'm talking about it.
Yeah,
would be
that's
sad.
different.
But-
That's different.
And
That's
then
murder
kill
for him.
yourself. And then kill yourself. I can't count on you.
No,
to do
I
that.
wouldn't. No, I'm sorry. Why would you want? Why do I have to die?
I know this has been a little heavy. I'm sorry. Suicide's a weird topic. I will say, before I give my rating, if you are going through a hard time, fucking talk to somebody. Please. Genuinely. Whether you use the number that's on screen or not, talk to your fucking friends. And if you don't have friends, try and make some. It is worth it. Life is worth living. Even though we were making jokes and stuff like that, this is a serious topic that we do take seriously and that I, believe you me, have thought a lot about over the course of my life. In regard to that, when it comes to my rating, I'm going to give it a 1. I do not want people to kill themselves. I do not want people to have depression. I do not want anybody to feel the things that I have felt about myself in my deepest, darkest, lowest points. Absolutely not. It is terrible. But it is an option. And because of the things that Mike talked about when it comes to being in a place in your life where you feel like you need it, or even in a place where you have so much bad depression that you need to leave, I hear you. I understand. And honestly, that is enough of a reason to do it if you are in that bad of a place. So it's a 1. I don't want it to be any more than that, but it is that. And also, it's a lot of narrative device stuff, like I talked about in Jealousy. It's got good things. There's a lot of creativity that has come from this terrible, shitty emotion.
That's why I'll go 2. Because I don't want to move into the realm of like,
It's a 10.
yeah, like where it's like, I'm gonna get higher than that and be like, well, I'm so edgy. No, it's a 2 because of the medical ways that it could be utilized. It's a 2 because it represents a special form of human free will that is fascinating to me, and I think there's a lot of deep philosophical and existential roots in there. Okay. There are narrative and fictional devices and stories that,
That's really what
because it exists in the world, it is created some wonderful insight through narrative and stuff like that. And it's a really good insult to hurl at someone. Like the fact that we can do it is something that allows me to say, you know what, fucking kill yourself. And it has some weight. That being said, even though there's this control, this thing you can do, and there's power in that to end what might be your suffering, your existence, it is the one thing that you cannot come back from. And that is why, even though there are some people that might even hear what I just said, because I hear it as I say it, there's almost a sexiness to it, right? It's this human thing, this act, this control, this thing you can do that separates us. It's philosophical. There's a nihilism to it, right? And nihilism can be really sexy. But the fact of the matter is that you cannot come back. And I think just the sheer morbid curiosity of where might living go, it should be enough to keep you here. Yeah. Even if you're suffering, to think, as long as it's not physical, like actual pain every day that is just unbearable. And I think we would know the line when we got to it, because humans are resilient and adaptive, and we would try to fight until we just know we can't anymore. But it is absolutely worth it to just keep chugging along, because you don't know maybe when it'll break through. So the point is that even if you feel pinned down, even if you feel like it's the only way out, I implore people, and this is why suicide is at the most a two, even with what it could do for people who are truly suffering, is that there are always other options. The curiosity, even if it's this nihilistic, negative, pessimistic, like, let's suck and see how bad this can get, that drive to live, to survive, even if it's just to figure it out, even if it's, as the great Maria Bamford says, even if you're just doing it out of spite, stick around, because the actual window for justifiable suicide is so much smaller than it can feel when you feel that way. So, to me, that's why it can't go above a 2, because doing it is not worth it.
Very beautifully said. And
Thank
I think
you.
that's a good place to end it. Now, we've got topics that we pick for next week. This is going to be much more fun than talking about suicide. So,
let me reveal the topics.
I've got the random number generator pulled up. Matt, why don't you pull up the topics?
Got it.
And Mike, why don't you be my fucking hype man?
Yeah. Kill yourself.
All right. The first number on today's list of 3 is 406.
Hidden piercings. Yeah.
All right. The next number on our list. Ooh, we're going up. 39.
Our first jobs.
And our final number. Oh, shit. I guess we just got to go back to the 4s. It is 438.
Our final topic, third and final topic for next episode, is doing shots.
I don't know if there could be a more antithetical episode.
Yeah.
We narrowly missed the topic of Paul Rudd by 1. Sorry, but we are doing shots.
Like, I don't think there's a more opposite to this episode.
And that is what I love about this show, though. Like, not to be whatever, but like, it's fun to talk about the dark stuff, and it's also fun to talk about the fucking inane stuff. That's the only reason that the show has any appeal to me.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, that is it. That is another episode in the can. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Review it all.
Review it all. Review it all!